Okay, so switching gears a little bit, next week we're actually, in fact, even tomorrow we're going through some planning exercises with Solano Community College. And this is an interesting, we're kind of hopping over from the early design planning that we showed right now, design and construction, into this is an actual project that's under construction right now at Solano Community College for a biotech laboratory. And it's a biotech laboratory, and you see the Navisworks model in the background there, so it's a pretty dense model. Smith Group is the architect that's been working on this along with others in the design and construction of this facility. They'll be coming on, we'll be talking more about this next week, but there's a Revit model that was completed. In this Revit model, there weren't clear definitions from the owner of what they would require on the delivery once the model is complete to go into facility management. So we've been working with the owner on how to use the Revit model and the data inside it and prepare it for facility management and operations and tracking asset and conditions and work orders. So the Revit model was a great resource for that. There is a mechanical MEP model with all the equipment inside it, and the Navisworks view of that. It's a pretty dense model, and the interior of the model you see right here. This was taken and converted and pushed back up to the server, the same cloud server that we talked about earlier. A simplified view of it, but with all the data about the equipment. We're focusing on how do we get the data online in the server and then start discussing with the owner what equipment do you need to track. So we're kind of working backwards. If this definition was available at the beginning of the project, then the instructions could have been given to the design build team, the construction team, and the architect to set up the model. But it's still not too late. It's still, there's plenty there, and we're structuring that. And even this model is accessible in the cloud server that we talked about. So Solano Community College has been great. They've agreed to actually share these models and data in the BIM storm, so you can actually get to this model in the BIM plan viewer, drilling down into it and seeing the individual spaces. And next week we'll be having a discussion with the Solano team on how to prep this model and data for going into facility management. So we're spanning the entire life cycle here, and the intent is if you start having models like this delivered, data like this delivered, it creates greater value for the owner, and the design teams that can support the delivery of this can help the owners realize what their needs for the life cycle. And you'll notice that even in this view here, actually the model is a simplified model. There's a full-blown Revit model that we showed earlier. In this case, we said let's just focus on getting the location of these pieces of equipment. The data is still associated with it, so you can actually see information about individual pieces of equipment, but the geometry is kept simple in this case. So this is actually the data that came in from the Revit model, and now we're going to be showing next week how that can be tied back into facility management applications.